The task is reading fill in the blanks, drag and drop. One of the important question types in the reading module and pretty much useful in getting a good reading score. How many questions in the exam? In the exam, there will be minimum 4 questions, maximum 5 questions. Generally, PTE gives 4 questions in the examination, not 5. 5 is also possible, but not very regular based on my real exam experience. And then, what is the score weightage? Now, the official confirmed weightage from PTE is 18 marks from this task. 18 marks. Okay, so this is the weightage of reading, fill in the blanks, drag and drop. The first step is you read the first line of the question text or the question paragraph. You read the first line or first sentence. Make sure that you're using the mouse cursor and do it. You can comfortably read a sentence, understand the topic in 10 seconds time. That's enough. So this you should take how much time? Strictly 10 sentences. To keep the time, you have to track the time, you have the timer on the top right hand side in the examination. So 10 seconds you can take, you read the topic, you register the topic in your mind. Let us start answering one question. The practice of giving graduation gifts seems to be alive and well, despite blank economic times. So it is about graduation gifts and it is also talking about the economic times, ongoing economic times. So I have the clarity on the topic. Now let me answer the first blank. So despite blank economic times, economic is there, and then despite is a contradictory word, right? So here on to the left of despite, we have what? The practice of giving graduation gifts seems to be alive and well, which is a positive statement, right? After positive statement, we have a contradiction word, which is despite, right? Then there should be a negative word. So I will look for the negative things in the list, right? Generous, hard, money, sums, favorable. Only I see hard as a negative word from the entire list. So I'll choose hard. Also, economic times is a noun. So hard is what? Adjective. So generally after adjective, you get noun. This rule we can call it what? The ANR rule. ANR rule. After adjective, there will be noun. That's the rule. That's common. You can witness it in many of the questions. Right? I say what it is? Hard economic times. Second step is, on each blank, you invest 30 seconds and you read that blank's sentence. Step 2 is what? Read blanks. You read the blank's sentence. Why are we doing it? Because every blank is a missing word in a sentence. If you read that sentence, you read that clause, you read that baby sentence, you will get to know situationally which word is suitable, grammatically which word is suitable. But then you should not be investing more than 30 seconds time on each blank. Because if you stick to one blank for more than 30 seconds, let's imagine you have spent 1 minute, 1.5 minutes on one blank. So the chances of you leaving that blank empty will be much, much lesser. So in that anxiety, in that time pressure, in that attachment that you have created for yourself with the blank, you will keep some option. That option is generally going to be the wrong option. So let's not do it. You try a blank for 30 seconds. You're getting the answer, happy. You're not getting the answer, much happy. Go to the next one. So like this, you will finish the easier blanks first. You will keep the tough blanks for the last. So when you answer the easier blanks first, what happens is in the bottom from the options, the number of options are reducing. Number 1, the number of options are reducing. Number 2, what is happening? Your familiarity with the paragraph is increasing because for the sake of other blanks, you are reading the sentences from the paragraph. So options are decreasing, familiarity with the text is what? Increasing, which is good for you. And you don't have any anxiety about time management because you are leaving every blank after 30 seconds time. So in 3 ways it is good. For the time management, it is good if you leave the blank in 30 seconds time. For the accuracy, it is good. For establishing familiarity also, it is very, very good. So the second step, what you have to do is you have to invest maximum 30 seconds on each blank. So you will invest 30 seconds on this, you try it, If you are answering it, fine. If you're not answering also, it is very much fine. You will go to the next one after allocating maximum 30 seconds here. And then again, you try this blank for 30 seconds, this blank for 30 seconds. So the tough blanks, you always answer at last. That is when it is going to be conducive. Now, let's work on this one. They are being more blank in the gifts they bestow. They are being more blank in the gifts they bestow. So we are not getting the clue. So what we can do, we can go a little back and we can read this. A recent study in the US has shown that while families may not have as much to spend, they are being more blank in the gifts they bestow. Right? They don't have enough to spend, so they cannot be generous. Right? They cannot be generous. So then what they can be creative, because they don't have enough money. They want to still gift it because the graduation gifting is alive and well. Right? So I choose. They are being more creative in the gifts they bestow. Right? Generous is a correct answer. You might be thinking generous is the correct answer. It is going to be correct when they have ample money, very much sufficient money. But that's not the case here. Now, next one. Lavish celebrations and large lump blank seem to have gone by the wayside in favor of smaller and more thoughtful gifts. Lump sum is a collocation. Lump sums is a collocation. Lump sum is what? Big thing or in one shot, something like that. So they lavish celebrations and large lump seem to have gone by the wayside. They are not in the picture. They are not followed. So therefore, the correct answer is going to be what? The lump sums. Right. So we will look at the answers now. The first one is hard for obvious reasons. Why? Because of the contradiction word here. And the other side, we have a positive word. After contradiction, the flow will reverse. Right. It is going in the positive flow. After contradiction, the flow will reverse. And then the second one, please see. This is situationally correct. Right? Again, like this, it is also situationally correct. They don't have enough money. Therefore, they have to be creative, because in the last thing also we have got a thing. They are moving in favor of what? Smaller and more thoughtful gifts. So in that occasion, creative is the correct answer. Third one, lump sums is like a blind thing. Anybody can put it because it's a collocation. So collocation is nothing but close friend words. Right? So why hard? Despite suggests contradiction. So we need the negative kind of word here. And then the next one, they have less money, therefore they cannot be generous, they should be creative. The third one, lump sums is a collocation. Lump sum is a collocation. So this is how we can answer the blanks. Then what about the score part? How each response is when you fill a blank and you select a word for a blank, how the score works. It's like this. If the selection is correct, you get 1 mark. If the selection is correct, you attempt the blank and your attempt is correct, your selection is correct, you get what? 1 mark. For example, your selection is wrong, you get what? A 0. And if you have not selected anything, you just kept the blank vacant, you have not filled anything, again it is going to be 0. So the good news is there is no negative marking. There is no negative marking in this task. If you get curious and you want to answer before me answering, you can simply pause the video. Question will be visible. Nicely write down your answers, or write the correct answers in the chat box. Right? Excellent. Let's answer one more question. So you can try this question. Give you time. Now read the first line. Madison Dorset was an influential American biochemist. So it is about the person called Marion. See, here in the reading module, the moment you leave the speaking module, the Pearson test is not worried about your pronunciation at all, because your mic is not recording anything. So if you cannot pronounce it, you don't have to call it something. You can simply call it what? MD. That's it. Okay. So don't waste your time on identifying the pronunciation of the words when you are out of the speaking module. Okay. Even in the speaking module, you get it in the read aloud. What you can do, you can simply skip that word and go in the flow. That's something you can do. So it's not a big deal. Right, it's about a biography of a biochemist. Biography of a biochemist. Interesting. So we will start answering the first blank. He began working as a. So definitely it is going to be a singular noun, because a is there. A always wants singular noun. He started working as a blank for US Department of Agriculture in 1894. Working as a what? It's a beginning stage, right? Let's researcher, leader, serum, fluid, inspection, division. Since he is a biochemist, he can start working as a researcher, right? The entry level thing is this. One is we have two designations we have. One is researcher, the other one is leader. In the beginning itself, generally people don't become leaders, right? So they have to prove themselves. Therefore, it is what researcher is going to be the correct answer. Now the next one, what is it here? And work his way up to become chief of the biochemical blank in 1904. So he worked hard to become what? Chief means the main person of the biochemical. So biochemical is an adjective. Again, ANR role. What is it? Adjective plus noun role. So we need to get noun here. Biochemical what? Think all are nouns only here. What is it? Biochemical division or department? Yes, because his chief means head of that department. So division is the correct word here. And then he made important discoveries in bacterial toxins and animal diseases. And he conducted pioneering work in the blank of meat products. So here all are nouns, but generally when you have the, it attracts either plural noun or singular noun. So da means, da and blank means noun. A and blank means consonant noun. An and blank means vowel thing will come, right? So I need work in the blank of meat products. So what a scientist does with the meat products? Does he do inspection? Does he do consumption? He's not going to eat it, right? So it is what? In the inspection of meat products, right? Consumption, inspection, both are there. Since he is a biochemist, he's become chief of the biochemical department. Then he should be into what? Inspection, checking, researching kind of thing. He co-discovered the virus. He co-discovered the virus that causes hog cholera and subsequently developed a blank to prevent it. Again, we need a singular noun. So what prevents a disease, a cholera infection? Definitely it should be a medicine, right? In the bottom, we will see what is researcher is not medicine, leader is not medicine, serum can be medicine, fluid can be sometimes medicine, right? Fluid can be any fluid. Inspection is already being used. All these things are there. So then we can go ahead with what? Serum to prevent it because it is virus. So for viruses as a antidote, we use what? Serums. So basic stuff. So this is it. There are 4 blanks. If you answer all 4 blanks correctly, you will get 4 marks. Researcher, correct. Division, correct. Inspection, correct. Serum, correct. So 4 marks, 4 are answered, 4 are correct, 4 marks. So it requires a role, indicates a department or a division. Then the inspection, right? Because it's about toxins and diseases. You have to inspect, you have to research as a biochemist. Serum, right? Excellent. So the missing words belong to this category. What is it? VANAC category, the missing words. So you see a blank, right, everywhere. That blank is generally what? It can be a verb, right? It can be V1, V2, V3, V1 plus, yes, it can be a verb. And then the word can be what? Adverb, which is ly form, like primarily, significantly, such as those words. Verb, adverb, and majority of the PTE blanks are nouns. It can be what? A noun. The missing word can be most of the times what? Noun. The other one, the missing word can be what? Adjective. It can be adjective. And the last thing, it can be what? A conjunction. So, V, verb, A, adverb, N, noun, A, adjective, C is conjunction. And in this also again you want a short list. I'll give you the short list. That is noun. Right? I'll use a different color. Noun is most common. Verb is most common. Conjunction is also most common. I'm not saying that the adverbs and adjectives won't be there. They will be there. But majority of the times the blanks are what? The blanks need verbs, nouns, and conjunctions. Right? These are the things. There is another question. Using questionnaires to gather information from people is a well-used quantitative research method. So it's about questionnaires, which is a quantitative research method. So that's something I understood, right? You want to answer it, you pause it and you answer it. Maybe Once you've finished with answering, you can look at the answer key. It is considered to be an easy. Please see, easy is an adjective. After adjective, definitely there should be a noun. Since an is there, this noun is 100% going to be a singular noun. Okay, considered to be an easy something, easy option, opportunity, selection, requires factors. No, it's an easy option, right? It's an easy option. That's my answer. Next one. Question type, clarity of language, length of questionnaire, and layout are just some of the many blanks. So after many, M-A-N-Y, many, if you have a blank, that is going to be a plural thing, because many means not one, more than one. Many influences, many factors. There are only two plurals: many influences, many factors. So maybe many factors. And influences is again a verb, basically. V1 plus S. Okay, therefore, what is it? Factors is the correct answer. Another issue, which blank some deliberation. Which blank some deliberation. Look at this sentence. Which blank some deliberation. In this small sentence, verb is missing, right? And it is going in the simple present. Therefore, V1 plus S will come. Which needs or which requires some deliberation. Deliberation means some attention, right? In this occasion, what is it? Which requires is the correct answer. This deliberation is how to ensure high response. High response. The collocation. High response rate. Okay, high response rate. Response rate is high, you say, right? So that's a collocation. So you look at the answers. Answer correct. How many of your answers are correct? Type in the chat box. If your answers are 3 correct, 4 correct, 2 correct, 1 correct, type in the chat box. Collocation, easy option. And also we were looking for a singular noun, and this is the most suitable thing which is available in the options. Many requires what? More than one. Many factors is also collocation, right? Okay. Let's say a student's university admission depends on many factors, right? It depends on many factors. Example statement I'm giving you. Another issue which requires, other words are not creating meaning. Verb is missing, verb you needed. This is the suitable word which required some deliberation. And the last one is response. So nicely. You might be thinking, if you're spending so much time on each question, when will you excel it? So in the beginning, you should not be looking for speed. The beginning, you should be looking for accuracy, understanding. Accuracy, understanding, predominantly, you should look for what? Understanding. Once you have good degree of understanding, great degree of understanding, what happens is the accuracy follows it. Okay, so accuracy will definitely happen. If you look at a blank with a sentence, it looks like this. Please see, the structure is like this. There is a blank, and then there is sometimes what? Text A, B, C, X, Y, Z I'm writing, M, N, O, something like that. So now here, either the verb is missing, or the noun is missing, or conjunction is missing, or adverb is missing, or adjective is missing. So when you read the sentence carefully using the mouse cursor from here to here, then you will be able to choose grammatically what is correct. For example, here there is an adjective and there is a blank. Now what do you choose? You will choose a noun here, right? So for example, in a sentence, verb is not there. Then you will choose what? A verb here, correct? So there is a blank between two small sentences. A complex sentence has a blank. Then you choose what? A conjunction you choose. So this is the structure. So in a question, there are what? Some 3-4 sentences. From the 3-4 sentences, removing some words, the Pearson PTE is creating the question basically. So they're taking a paragraph. From the paragraph, they're pulling off some words, some nouns, some adverbs, some adjectives, some conjunctions they're removing, and they're creating the spaces there. So that spaces are filled with what? Respective word. This is as far as the grammar is concerned. And now the second thing is the situation. Let's say in this sentence, the situation is positive situation. Let's say sentence is positive or neutral. Then you will choose what? Either positive word or neutral word. If the sense is what? Negative sense. Then from the options, you will pick up what? Negative words. So two things you will use after reading a sentence. You will be depending on two things. One is G, the grammar. The other one is S, which is the situation. So what is grammar? So grammatically, if there is a blank, let's say there is a blank. So grammatically, what is coming there, right? As I already explained, what? Is it a verb, adverb, noun, adjective, or conjunction? What is it basically, right? And situationally, what is it? Is it the positive sentence or is it the negative sentence? If the flow is positive flow, then you will choose a positive word. If the flow is negative flow, you choose the negative word. Psychology is a suitable course of study for those. Psychology is a suitable study for those in all aspects of human thought and behavior, and for those blank in all aspects of human thought and behavior. So it's about psychology, who it is suitable, basically. That's what it is talking. So let's answer this. Psychology is suitable for those blank in. Suitable course of study ended. New sentence starting. Those blank in all aspects of human thought and behavior. Maybe those interested in, right? Interested in. Affected in is what? Negative. Defined is not. Practiced in all, not making sense. Applied in all, not making sense. Diagnosed in all is not making sense. So therefore, what is it? Interested in is a correct answer. It can be. It can be. So please understand, whenever you have this can be, when you have B form, B is there, generally it attracts V3. And many V3s are ED forms, right? Look for ED forms. Affected, look at this. Everything is ED form here. Practiced, defined, affected, interested, applied, diagnosed. So generally, Pearson gives you different types of words. So I'm telling you this ED form thing for general reference, not for this question. It can be blank as a scientific study of how humans function on a biological, social, and mental level. This looks like a definition, right? So maybe the correct answer situationally is what? Defined. Defined is the answer situationally. There are a range of influential approaches to the subjects which are blank to such areas as child development, health, education, and sports. There are a range of influential approaches to the subjects which are blank to. So they are, I think basically it is used in these areas. What is the closest word for use? Practiced, affected, applied, which are applied to. Which are applied to. Applied to is again a collocation, right? Applied to such areas as child development, health, education, and sports. Interested, those interested can be defined V3, right? Which are applied to fields such as what? Child development, health, education, and sports. When you are attempting a blank, two things fundamentally you use. Once you read the sentence text onto the left, onto the right, you use two things. SG or GS. S stands for situation, G stands for grammar. So grammatically what is correct, situationally what is correct, you have to choose. So sometimes collocations also come into picture, but majority of the times you will be keep thinking about grammatically what is correct, situationally what is correct. Optional, I'll show you the thing what I spoke on the screen. Interested, other words are not at all creating meaning, then it can be defined because it's a definition. The context is definition. Third one, which are applied to such areas. These are the areas it is applied. Applied means used. In your in your house, there are home appliances, right? The TV, the fridge, the vacuum cleaner, the OTG, the microwave oven, all these things are appliances. You call them appliances. Why? So the deep meaning, the broad meaning of apply is nothing but work. Application, apply is what? Work, basically. Broad meaning. Every word has different meanings in different contexts. But appliances you call, right? Because they are into work. So these can be used or worked in what? These areas. It's interesting to know all these things. So if you're not liking this task, you cannot do anything about it. You have to start liking it. That's it. Either you like it, you hate it. The task is task, right? So it's better you like it, you get curious about it. And that. Yeah, this is something very much in the situation. They're all migrating to some place. Yeah. Migration could be described as a well-defined journey animals make to a familiar blank at specific seasons or times of the year. Also, it's about migration. The definition of migration has come. It's all about migration. It's fine. The first one, migration could be familiar to a familiar. So familiar is nothing but an adjective, right? You say familiar person, familiar place, familiar subject, familiar college, whatever you say. Familiar place, you say. So what is familiar in these things? Familiar is adjective that describes the noun. Since adjective is there, there will be a noun. They are making what? A journey. They are going on a journey, right? So journey leads to what? Destination. Therefore, destination is correct answer. All species that migrate to do so for a common blank. Again, see, for a common is nothing but adjective. Common man, you say, right? Common man. Man is what? Noun. Common is adjective. Common place, you say. Common, let's say, common, we have a common library. We have a common classroom for the 4 sections, something like that. So what is common in that? Adjective. So always after adjective, noun is going to come. So noun for a common what? Purpose, position, experience, situation, avoid. What is it? For a common purpose, what is? In order to survive is there. So the purpose is to survive basically, right? So for a common purpose, right? Purpose. And then please, one more thing. After A, even though there is adjective, it is going to be singular. Please understand. A is there, adjective is there. Even after adjective, there will be singular. It is not the case here. Here all are singulars only. But generally, after A, even if there is an adjective, that's going to be a single. Next one. Migration allows them to spend their life in more than one area and thus blank problems. So migration allows them to spend their life in more than one area. Thus means not so problem. So you migrate today. You are migrating some country. Are you going there to invite problems or to get rid of the problems? Getting rid, right? So what is the closest word to getting rid? Avoid. To avoid the problems that can occur in one habitat. Habitat is a place of living, right? Such as play, food, shelter, all of that. But today's situation is different. People, I think birds and birds migrate to the place for survival reasons. We migrate generally for our wants, right? Just adding some, point for discussion, nothing much. So let's look at the answers. Familiar, destination, common, purpose, thus avoid. So that they can avoid. Does means what? So that. Perfect. So 1, 1, 1, 3 marks. Look at the reasoning, or else you can slightly go forward if you do not want to see the reasoning again a second time. So the more times you see the reasoning, the better recall you have next time for the same kind of signals. If signals get stronger. If you wish to answer this question, pause the video, answer, and then later on you can play. Multinational companies are often criticized for a number of reasons, but we cannot deny their blank impact. So it's about multinational companies, probably the benefits and the demerits of the multinational companies. Let's see. So it is good thing, but, right, they are criticized. Negative sentence, there is a contradiction word. Right? Sometime back, we had a contradiction word that was despite, which changed the trajectory, right? Here again, we have but we cannot deny their blank impact. So if it's negative, this is going to be positive, right? So what is the correct word? Positive impact? Yes, of course, right? Positive is the correct answer. In the exam, what you do? You click, drag, and drop it here. But if you don't like it later on sometime, before clicking next button, you can always pull it back, right? When multinational companies set up manufacturing plants, there is an often increased blank of products for local consumers. And the production is happening locally. What is the benefit for the local customers? Basically, the first and foremost benefit. Okay, there is an increased blank of products, an increased blank, positive, gain, purchase, negative, availability, or benefit. So when the production is happening locally, since it is not getting imported from some other country, the availability of the products will be there for the local consumers. Consumers is the people who consume the product or service, right? Yeah. So availability of products for the local consumers. Look at the last one. Training also happens, use the technology. Moreover, the experience and knowledge that the employees blank strengthens their skills and overall employability. So look at this sentence. This sentence does not have a verb. So therefore, it should be a verb, right? The experience and knowledge that employees blank strengthens. What they get basically, that they gain, purchase is already used. Negative, availability, benefit, what is it? Positive, we already used it. They gain, right? Experience, gaining experience, correct? Gaining knowledge, gaining is the right word, that is the collocation. So 3 words we have done. Let's look at the answer key. Yeah. So multinational companies are often criticized for a number of reasons, but we cannot deny their positive impact. Positive is a word needed because there is a contradiction word. Before the contradiction word, if there is negative, after the contradiction word, there will be positive. Something reverses, the scene reverses basically. The next one, the availability of the product, increased availability of the products, that the employees gain, strengthens their skills and overall, right? So without gain, it is not a complete sentence. Now look at the reasoning also. Positive impact, adjective is needed. Some impact, what kind of impact? Positive impact. And negative is not suitable in the context because of the contradiction word. Increased availability. Increased is an adjective, so noun is needed. An increased singular noun is needed because an is there. It doesn't allow the plural noun. Also, we don't have plural nouns here, basically. So I'm telling you, sometimes when I'm telling you something which is not there in the question also, for your future question answering reference. Moreover, the experience and knowledge that the employees blank gain. Employees gain. Perfect. If you wish to answer this question, please pause the video, answer it. Right towards the end of the answer key revelation, you can type how many words you answered correct and keep typing in the comment box. Right. There are two basic branches of science of astronomy: observational and theoretical. So this is about the two branches of astronomical science, that is observational and theoretical. Observational astronomy, as the name suggests, is concerned with observing the blank and then analyzing the observations. So the requires mandatorily a noun. So we'll look at nouns only. Confirm is a verb. Angles, okay. Describe is a verb. Effects is a noun. Fields is a plural noun. Principles is plural noun. Reason is a noun. Skies is also noun. So what is it? Astronomy, right? It is looking up. Therefore, skies is the correct answer. They are observing the skies. Using the blank of physics. Again, the blank of physics. Collocation, what is it? Maybe the principles of physics, because it's a science. It uses the principles from different departments, school of thought, right? Right. Okay. Theoretical astronomy focuses more on developing computer or analytical models too. Right? So after two, always there is going to be a V1. V1, verb form 1. So look at the V1. Confirm is V1. Describe V1. That's it. What else too? So what theoretical people are doing? Astronomy focus on developing computer or analytical models to confirm the astronomical phenomena, right? Or describe the astronomical phenomena. So they are describing because they are theoretical people. I'll go with what? Describe. The two blank complement each other. After 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. If it is not 1, there is a blank, that's going to be plural. The two blank complement each other. We need what? 2 angles, 2 fields. These are 2 fields, right? 2 branches, 2 fields. 2 fields is the correct answer. I'm sorry, here, right? With observational astronomers attempting to, again we need what? One more V1. How many V1s left now? Confirm is left. You can use what? Confirm. Theoretical results and theoreticians aiming to explain what has been. So they're going hand in hand. I mean, they are interdependent in a way. That's what it says. So how many blanks are there? 5 blanks. If you answered all five correct, you get what? 5 marks. Observing the skies. Why skies? Because it is situationally correct. Principles, situationally correct. Describe, again situationally correct. Some grammar we used, some situation we used. Some grammar we used, some situation we used.